Here's how a freight broker can turn one phone call into a $500 payday. Yeah, freight brokers don't make money by owning trucks. Brokers make money by buying transportation from carriers and selling transportation solutions to shippers. And depending on the load, the lane, the customer, and the market, that profit might be $100, it might be $500, or even $1,000 on a single load. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how that works. By the way, if you stick around to the end of this video, I have a free download for you to help you start and grow a successful freight broker business. Okay, so first let me set the stage. A freight broker's profit is called gross margin or gross profit. Simple example. Customer pays a broker $1,500, broker pays a carrier $1,300, broker gross profit is $200. Now that $200 is not pure take-home money yet. It's the gross profit before business expenses like taxes and software and so on. Now, the basic formula for a freight broker profit is simple. The customer rate minus the carrier rate equals the gross profit. This is the basic money model for every freight broker, and you need to understand that up front, okay? So example number one, how a broker would make $100 on a load. All right, so the customer pays $900. The carrier is paid $800, and the broker gross profit is $100. Now, a $100 margin load may happen when the load is competitive, or the lane is competitive, I should say, or the load is easy to cover, or the customer is very rate sensitive, or maybe the broker is trying to earn trust with a new shipper. The shipment is maybe a short haul or lower revenue value. A $100 profit is not always bad. But if every load only pays $100, you need a lot of volume, repeat business, and tight systems to make the business work. Okay, so example number two, how would a broker make $500 on a load? So if a customer pays $2,500 and then the carrier takes $2,000, the gross profit for the broker is about $500. So a $500 margin load may happen when the broker understands the lane, or maybe the customer values service over the cheapest rate. Or maybe the broker has strong carrier relationships. Or the load has tighter pickup or delivery requirements. Or maybe the broker knows how to quote with confidence. This is where freight brokering can become very attractive. The broker is not just marking up a truck, they're solving a transportation problem and getting paid for their service, for communications, and for most of all, reliability. Now, example number three, how would a broker make $1,000 on a load? All right, well, the customer pays $4,500, the carrier pay is $3,500, and the gross profit for the broker is $1,000. Now, a $1,000 margin load may happen when maybe the load is urgent, or capacity is tight, or it's a difficult lane, or maybe the freight requires some sort of special equipment. Or maybe the customer has a serious service problem. The broker has access to capacity others can't find. Or maybe the broker is trusted enough to solve the problem fast. Bigger margin loads usually come from higher value situations. Hear this, complexity creates opportunity and margin. Does that mean you're gouging the customer? No. It means the broker is creating value when the customer needs speed, reliability, problem solving, and access to the right carrier. So why do some loads pay more than others? Well, number one, lane difficulty. Some lanes are easier to cover than others. A load going to a strong freight market may be easier to cover than a load going into a weak freight market. Equipment type, number two, dry vans, reefers, flatbeds, hot shots, oversized, and specialized freight can all price differently. Number three, urgency. Last minute freight usually creates more pressure and more opportunity. Number four, customer relationship. If the customer trusts you, they're often less likely to shop every load to the lowest bidder. Number five, carrier network. The better your carrier network, the more pricing options you may have. And number six, market conditions. When trucks are tight, price changes fast. When trucks are loose, shippers may push harder on rates. A new broker should understand both profit margin and dollar value. Let me give you an example. Customer pays $1,000. Carrier gets $850. Gross profit $150. So that's a 15% margin, right? All right. So now example B is customer pays $5,000. carrier gets $4,300, gross profit for the broker is $700. That's a 14% margin. Okay, so an example B has a lower margin but a higher dollar value profit. I'm not sure about you, but I know which one I prefer. So don't only look at just the percentage, look at the total dollars, customer value, risk difficulty, and how much the load requires. One of the biggest mistakes that I see beginners make is trying to make the biggest profit possible on every single load. And that's the wrong way to think. The real goal is to build profitable, repeat customer relationships. One oversized margin that burns trust can cost you a long-term customer. A fair margin with consistent repeat freight can create a real business. What freight brokers actually get paid for? Okay, so what do they get paid for? What do freight brokers make money? Why do they make money? Well, they find reliable carriers. They vet those carriers. They're quoting accurately. They're managing communications. They're handling problems. They're tracking freight. They're protecting the shipper's time. They're solving capacity issues. They're reducing stress for customers. The margin is the reward for managing the process well. Okay? So let me give you a simple beginner example. Let's say you have one customer who gives you 5 loads a week. All right? Average customer rate, $1,800. Average carrier rate, $1,500. Average profit per load, $300 a load. That's 5 loads a week equals $1,500 in gross profit per week. Over 4 weeks, that's $6,000 in gross profit per month from one small customer. Now imagine 3 to 5 customers like that. That's how this business starts to become real. So here are some key takeaways. Number 1, freight brokers make money from the spread between what shippers pay and what the carrier accepts. That spread is called gross margin or gross profit. Number 2, a broker might make $100 or $500 or $1,000 depending on the load, the lane, the market, the customer, and carrier options. Number 3, the best brokers do not just chase margin. They build trust, they solve problems, and they create repeat business. Okay? So if you want to learn how to start your own freight broker or freight agency business and get started step by step, you can download my free guide, How to Become a Freight Broker in 7 Simple Steps. Just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/7 steps or check out the link in the description below.